Well, welcome and thanks for coming today. And this new series that we're doing is called Living to Tell, which I think is very apropos for the Lance Corporal Janos Vilas Live to Tell Foundation, because we want everyone to live a long, healthy life and live to tell their stories. And so today we're going to share some stories. We're going to discuss it might be a little emotional and painful for the listeners because we're going to be discussing suicide. We're going to be discussing the loss of our loved ones and how we have moved forward handling the grief and the different situations that grief causes us mentally and as well physically. So we have with us today, we have Lauren Ogden and Chuck Duget. And Lauren, we're going to go with ladies first. And if you would like to introduce yourself.
So I am Lauren Ogden. I am an Afghanistan veteran. I was in Bagram doing detainee ops in 2012, and also a former VA police officer working at the Miami VA and West Palm Beach VA.
All right. Chuck?
Chuck Duget, Iraq war veteran, served in Iraq in 2004. Had to sign Non-Disclosure Act, so I can't really talk about it. And that's about that.
All right. And Lauren, I guess we'll start with you. I'm going to just come out and ask you, have you lost anyone to suicide? Any family members? Let's start with the close family. Have you lost any family members to suicide?
So my husband, he lost a cousin to suicide. He took his dog for a walk and a shotgun and ate the shotgun in the middle of the woods. And then I did lose one of my shipmates at the VA police officer. He was also a Navy vet. And 4 days after George Floyd in 2020. Yeah. So I lost pretty much two people. And it was weird because he was born the same day as me. So it was kind of hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about, through your military connection, have you lost any veteran friends to suicide?
Not suicide. I did lose somebody in the Marjorie Stone Douglas shooting in 2018.
Okay. All right. Chuck, have you lost any family to suicide?
No family, but I did lost two CB veterans that I knew took their own lives after the war in Iraq, 2004.
And have you lost anyone? Have you lost anyone close to you?
Yes, my son died 10 years ago from cancer at the age of 13.
That's tough. They say, when you lose a child, it's a death that's out of order because the parents are supposed to die first.
Yes.
And how have you dealt with that over the years?
At first, I started drinking really heavily because of the loss, to the point I had to go to the VA, and they told me it was basically stop drinking or die. So I gave up drinking.
That's good.
Went through talking to people and realizing life goes on. I can't sit there and dwell on it. I have to keep moving, keep doing things. I don't think my son would want me to just sit there and cry all day and drink myself to death. So here I am.
Here you are. Here you are, alive, thriving, and honoring your son. And you chose to do that. So I applaud you. It's not easy. I got to ask you. So I mean, I know you. I see you once a month about. And actually, I see you more than that because you do work for us, as our electrician as well. And you're always upbeat. But I know there's got to be times when it gets rough. And what are those times when it gets rough?
Try to keep myself occupied to take my mind off of it.
Go
If
ahead.
I'm
I'm sorry.
if I'm not thinking about it, then I'm not getting depressed about it. So I guess that's avoiding.
Okay. So it's avoid, but you're, because you know what it is, and it's almost like you just have to get through it. And once you get through it, then it gets manageable.
Yeah. The anniversary for my son's death was Monday. So
Mm,
kept myself busy Monday.
yeah. But what about leading up to that time? Leading up to Monday.
I think about it, but it's not. I try not to let it to be the main focus of my what's going on. Try to keep
Yeah.
on what's going on around me now.
Okay. So you're staying in the moment. You're practicing mindfulness. So this is a really good, mindfulness is really good, staying present. Lauren, how did you deal with your losses? And
So what I do is I do things to honor them. So I went on this really great veteran retreat called Waypoint in Tennessee, and their motto is to live for the ones who are not here anymore. And so I pretty much every year go and place flags on their graves at the cemetery, at the the VA cemetery, South Florida in Lake Worth. And I pretty much do a lot of artwork for them in honor of them. So that's pretty much what I do.
that's great. That is great. So what I've heard from Chuck so far, and what I've heard from Lauren is, with grief, there's not a timeline. So birthdays or the day they passed or holidays can be hard. Have either of you found that any type of music can trigger memories of your lost one and maybe take you into a funk?
No,
No.
not really.
Oh, so when Johnny was in Afghanistan, I listened to Moby or Mobley, and there were some other songs that I listened to that really would pump me up when he was over in Afghanistan. But today I can't listen to those songs. I can't listen to them anymore. And actually, there's a few songs. In fact, I used to go to Orange Theory Fitness, and I had to stop going there because the music they played was so loud, and it just triggered me. Some of the songs would come on and remind me, and it would just take me right down into a funk. So I just decided not to go there anymore. So what do you do? Do you have any difficult mornings where, maybe you just don't want to face the day?
Sometimes.
You do. I do too. Would you say, discussing specifically about grief, like today, I'm in a completely different place. I lost my two boys. They both died at the age of 24. The first one was 2013. The second one was 2015. And I, like you, Chuck, I quit drinking. It'll be 10 years this December that I haven't had any alcohol, because my doctor didn't have to tell me, but I knew if I kept drinking, I was going to off myself. And so I think that's a very important factor. I think grieving parents and really people that are dealing with deep sadness should not be drinking alcohol, because alcohol is a depressant. Would you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I know today that I am a completely different person than when I first lost my boys. I've evolved a lot, but the grief, it's not always there every day. It's almost like my life has grown around the grief. Can you guys relate to that?
Yes.
I could say it comes in waves. It's like the ocean, the shores, it's some days are good and some days are manageable and then some days are much greater. So I would relate it to like waves on a shoreline.
So I can see a comparison with grief and with PTSD.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Because when we get triggered, right, we almost have the same effects as the grief. I think they're interchangeable. And so to combat both grief and PTSD, I think it's, again, a similar equation. And one of the key factors that helped me in the beginning was practicing mindfulness. Because there would be times I would be at work and a customer would walk in and I'd be doing an order and I would I would start uncontrollably sobbing. And I had to get up and walk away. And but then I trained myself. Okay, I focused. What am I doing right now? I put all my focus and attention in that and do it to the best of my ability. Do you guys have any like tricks to get yourself out of the funk? When you're in it?
I do arts and crafts.
Yes,
I do arts and crafts, and then I also do breathing, like box breathing. So I noticed that helps me greatly.
I try to, I don't know, sometimes if I'm home, try to put on something funny to watch. Because, laughter is good for you.
Yes.
Like, try to do something that will make me smile, make me laugh, try to get out of the funk that way. If I'm in the car, music to try to boost up my spirits, try to get me out of the funk, try to make me happier.
Yeah. I remember in the beginning when I couldn't get out of bed and I really didn't want to live anymore. And the only reason why I got up really was to feed my dogs. And I'd go back to bed. I would take a half an Ambien and I would drink like 4 ounces of chilled vodka and just drink it down because I couldn't deal with the pain. I just knew it was going to kill me, And so I laid in that bed, and after a week, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't showering. I wasn't, brushing my teeth. And so
you weren't doing any self-care.
No, nothing. I wanted to die. I was going down that path really that I wanted to die. And then I'm like, how can I get out of this? How can I pull myself out of this? Because nobody can do it for me. I have to do it myself. Because nothing that anybody would have said to me, I would have heard when I was in that state of mind. So I don't know where this came from, but I just started to become thankful. And I was thankful for my bed. I said, let me start with my bed. I said, I'm thankful for my bed. And it was cold out. I said, I'm thankful for my blanket. And what we focus on expands. So I started it started to rain outside. And I said, I'm thankful for this house and this roof over my head that I'm not getting, rained on. And then I got up and I took a shower. I said, oh my God, this is so wonderful, getting this stink off my body and this fresh, clean water. And then I brushed my teeth and I said, oh, I'm so thankful. And the gratitude in my heart just like grew. And that was able to pull me out of that dark, dark place, because I changed my thinking. Instead of everything that I had lost and not having a reason to live, I became thankful. So have you guys ever experienced anything like that where you were so deep and you didn't know how you were going to get out of it?
I try to think that, no matter what's happened to me, there's always someone out there that has it worse. And if they can continue to live, then I can continue to live. Or if they're able to have good spirits, and someone who's in a wheelchair can't move, their life is, in a wheelchair. If they can keep going, why can't I keep going?
Right.
You see people walking with one leg and they're running. So if they can do it, not saying I want to run, but if they can keep going, I can keep going.
I love it. I love it. Lauren, you have anything to add to that?
So I live by this motto: everything happens for a reason. So when something crappy happens, I always try to find, well, why did it happen? And that brings me positivity, because every time it shows its true purpose.
Well, and I love that. And I try to live by that too. And I agree that that's like miracle consciousness, that everything happens it's just perfect and it's supposed to happen. Right. And so I say, thank you. Sometimes I don't know why it happened, but for me, I just have to say thank you, because maybe I'm being protected by something. I get up in the morning and I have a flat tire. I just say thank you, right? Because I'm being protected maybe from being in an accident. So I totally get that and agree with that. You agree with that, Chuck?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Everything good and bad it happens for. If it's something bad happens, there's a bigger purpose for that bad thing that happens. So if I wake up, I have a flat, then God doesn't want me on the road. That's the way I look at it. I shouldn't be driving.
Yeah. So let's go over, I want to go over some practical things that helped us. Okay, so I'm just going to name some things, and you guys can add, but practical things that helped me get through the loss of my children. Exercise, walking, prayer, meditation, journaling, counseling, reading, music, time outdoors, volunteering, building routines, taking care of physical health, talking with trusted friends. And when I mean that, I mean a friend who has experienced the same loss, the same trauma that I went through. I wouldn't talk to a mother, who never lost the children. So I have moms that have lost their children very similar to the way I lost mine, that when I really need to talk to somebody, that's who I reach out to. Can you guys add anything to that list?
Having a good friend that you can call when you're in time of need is very important.
Meditation, journaling, counseling, reading, music, time outdoors, volunteering, building routines, taking care of physical health, talking with trusted friends. And when I mean that, I mean a friend who has experienced the same loss, the same trauma that I went through. I wouldn't talk to a mother, who never lost the children. So I have moms that have lost their children very similar to the way I lost mine, that when I really need to talk to somebody, that's who I reach out to. Can you guys add anything to that list?
Having a good friend that you can call when you're in time of need is very important.
Yes.
No matter what it's about, someone can just call and vent to, or call and talk to. That's important.
Do you think it's important to have somebody local support?
Yes, it is, because sometimes you might need, hey, let's meet in person and let's go grab a coffee. Let's just sit down and have lunch, socialize.
Yeah.
That's very important. It's one thing to talk to someone on the phone, but it's another person. It's another thing to see someone face to face.
Right. And sometimes, like with friends and stuff like that, like with my close friends, they know my anniversary dates. I let them know, Johnny died on this date. This is Johnny's birthday. This is Justin's birthday. So before those dates, I might isolate a little. I might not be answering my phone. And so if I have somebody local, they can just come on over and knock on my door. Hey, Janine, what's going on? I'm going to, come hang out with you, make sure everything's okay. Which is really what Lutz Buddy Up is connecting veterans and first responders locally. And the goal, that we really want is for them to exchange numbers and to be there for each other. So I have also some listings of things that didn't help. So I know you all can relate. Okay. Pretending to be okay. Right. I'm okay. I'm smiling, but inside I'm dying. Right. And how many times? That's why another thing, you can't text somebody and ask them, hey, are you okay? Because they're always going to say yes. But a real friend, a true friend, is going to know your trigger dates, and they're going to be knocking on your door. Anyway, isolating, staying angry. How angry were you, Chuck, when you lost your son?
Very angry, helpless.
Yeah.
A lot of second guessing.
Yeah. Oh, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't play. That's not a good game for anybody to play. What about living in guilt? That comes with woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. Blaming other people.
Yeah. Avoiding emotions.
Very much.
Comparing grief. Expecting healing overnight. One of the things that I also remember in the beginning was I felt that I couldn't be happy again because I was being disloyal to my children. Like, how could I laugh? How could I have joy? Both of my children are gone. Like, I would be a terrible mom if I was happy again. Did you have that kind of a battle in your head in the beginning?
A little in the beginning. Like after that, I'm like, I don't want to have another child, but still, what guarantees do I have that child will live? It was hard.
Yeah. Lauren, can you relate to any of that?
Yes, the blaming others. Yeah, a few things.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guilt part is probably the one that sticks out the most, because I will always remember my last conversation with that fellow police officer. He seemed uppity. He didn't show any signs at all. He was talking about the future. I mean, and as trained as a police officer, you're trained to pick up those signs. Well, he didn't give any. So it's like, in that situation, it's like there's no woulda, coulda, shoulda, saw it. He didn't give any.
Right.
There was no signs. So in that situation, it's like there's nothing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I went to a grief group about 5 months after Johnny died, and a couple sat across from me, and the group started, and they introduced themselves, and you could feel their pain oozing out of them. You could almost smell it. And I said, oh, they must be newly grieved just like me, because I felt as if we were on the same pain level. And then they stated that their daughter was killed by a drunk driver, and they said 16 years ago. And yet they sat there in that same pain as I, just 5 months into it. And I thought to myself, that is not going to be me. I don't know how. I can't see it. And it took years for me to even get there. But I said, I am going to be happy again. I am going to have joy. I am going to have laughter in my life. I want to live. And again, not even be able to see it, but I set that intention that day. And years later, it took years, it took work, here I am today, laughter, joy, love. I can experience, I can express, I can feel these things. So, not saying that it's always like that, but the majority of the time is like that. So, thriving doesn't mean forgetting. We can do all of these things: laugh, travel, fall in love, celebrate holidays, build businesses, enjoy grandchildren, and smile. And without loving your loved one any less, right? You can have all that, and that doesn't mean you love the one you lost any less. So I just, want to reiterate to that. Joy is not betrayal. And, that was something I struggled with in the beginning. Okay. Advice to someone struggling today.
Reach out and talk to someone. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Definitely pick up the phone, reach out, call someone, anyone.
Yes.
Especially,
Lauren? Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
I
I
would.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
I would say,
Go ahead, Chuck.
especially someone that you feel confident talking to, that's not going to make, not joke around, but take you serious, and sit down and just listen to what you have to say and be there for you.
I would say tap into your hobbies. Tap into like mindfulness, tap into like breathing exercises, live in the present, meditation, sound baths, tap into all of it because avoidance is not the key totally, but living in the presence is for sure helped me get over all the grief that I have had.
And I think sometimes also when people are struggling today, they think these things. They think it'll never get better, right? I remember thinking that in the beginning. I'm like, because I couldn't even see it, right? I couldn't see it, and yet I set the intention. No one understands, like, because you can talk. This is what I thought, but again, when I found my other moms that lost their children like I did, I know they understand. And then I felt very alone. I felt like, I can't believe this, the world is going on, my children just died. You know what I'm saying? We just added Frey Dog to the chat, by the way, because we're getting ready to close, and Frey Dog is going to lead us in the Spartan Pledge, but we're not ready yet, Frey Dog.
Good morning, Warfighter family. Hoorah.
Hoorah. So I guess in closing, I want to say that and I think I can speak for Chuck and Lauren and even Frey Dog, we still have hard days. We still cry. We
Yes.
still miss the people we love. PTSD doesn't magically disappear. Grief doesn't retire, but neither does hope. We have learned that life can hold both pain and purpose at the same time. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
We don't honor the people we lost by stopping our lives. We honor them by living fully, loving deeply, and helping others find their way through the darkness, living to tell their stories. So, Lauren and Chuck, would you join me in taking the Spartan Pledge with Frey Dog today?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
Frey Dog, can you just introduce yourself real quick?
Well, I'm Joshua James Frey. I got the nickname Frey Dog a long, long time ago. I was a Fallujah vet. I got 2 Purple Hearts. I was one of the last guys shot in my battalion in Fallujah in 2004. I met Mama. I met Mama Lutz through Boone when he asked me to go and speak, again, to Congress or whoever it was many years ago. And I heard Mama's story for the first time, sitting there waiting to go up and talk, in front of people for the first time ever. And it just, it was a very powerful moment in my life because Mama's story is incredible, and I know you both love Mama, and it is just losing Boone not recently, and I lost my mom this year, and I lost my buddy Johnny, who had 3 Purple Hearts, and he killed himself like a few years ago, and it was just back, and Mama got me my first Bible, and I got closer to God, just by and she showed me where to start, and that was the red words and getting closer to Jesus. And I'm not super religious, but I'm very spiritual, and I'm very close to God. I talk to him every day. I struggle like everybody. I do have all that stuff, anger, guilt, just a lot of stuff that but then I also, the reflection in hobbies, I got into the garden, and I just grow flowers and all sorts of other stuff. And um, it's hard. It's hard to get up every day, but the more you do it, the better you are. And having Boone was really my go-to for if anything was going on. And he left a legacy that, will be gone way, even though he's gone, it's still going to be here even after I'm gone. And I'm grateful to have that brotherhood that we had. And I still have a couple battle buddies I do, I can call every day. And I do talk to my battle buddies every day. And I was on every pill. I believed in the doctors because I just thought that, they were you know, they went to school, they did things. But now that, I've done a lot of plant medicine, and I'm a, I'm an advocate for that, but I don't think it's for everybody. I think that, living in the here and now is the only way. And I do that with my morning routine. I go to bed like an old man now. I got in a little bit of trouble, a couple years ago that I had, and my post-traumatic stress put me in situations, and then I put the blame on them when it was like, there's really no one to blame because war is hell, and nobody gets a nice little like map on, hi, how do we do this? So God punishes. He doesn't like my punishments that I went through. It just brought me closer to God, and then my reflection, looking back on everything that I did lose, I got back tenfold because I did the work, and I put the blame at the door, and I took the Spartan Pledge years ago with Boone, and um, I'm just at that point in my life where I'll be 50 in November, and I am very grateful just to be alive and well. Like
All right.
and I just I drink water. And now the alcohol part, I still have the demons, and as a Marine, I will drink my 2 beers and a shot, every once in a while. That's the key, is just to having a couple. And if you can have a couple, that's good. Now, if you can't, and there's a lot of guys that can't, and I've had many nights where I couldn't. Um, and I'm just human. Um, we're all fleshy. We're all sinners. But I just get up every morning, and the demons do come, and they try to get you and get in my head, and then I'm just like, nope, not today, Satan.
All
And
right.
it's a 97.888% accuracy rate. It's that 2% you got to watch out for. But I'm just blessed to be a part of this. Let's buddy up, Mama Lutz, and you two. I don't know you personally, but maybe I do. I don't know. I think we might have been to a couple buddy ups, but I'm just happy to be alive, and I'm happy to be here. When Mama asked me to do the Spartan Pledge today, it's just my honor, and it's really Boone's legacy, and I miss him terribly, and I do.
All right.
Myself.
Let's say the pledge.
All right, let's just get this
right.
over with. All right, Spartan Pledge by the legend Boone Cutler. I will not take my own life by my own hands until I talk to my battle buddy first. My mission
I
is
will not We're gonna repeat
I
it.
will
Okay?
not
I
take
will not take my life by my own
life by
hand
own hands
until I
without
talk to my battle
talk to
buddy
my
first.
buddy first.
My mission is to find a mission.
My mission is to find a mission.
Find another mission.
And that mission is to help my warfighter family.
To help my
Help
warfighter
my
family.
warfighter family.
All right, let's
In
say,
Jesus' name, amen.
amen. Now just read it through one time clearly, Frey.
Okay. I will not take my own life by my own hands until I talk to my battle buddy first. My mission is to find a mission and to help my warfighter family till my last breath.
Hoorah! All
Hoorah!
right, and remember that.
I
You are
will.
loved and you are not
everybody
alone.
remember that. And you know what? It is. It's God has blessed me, and if I do right, good things happen. If I do wrong, bad things happen. That's all I got.
Okay, we got to close out.
All right.
We're going to be doing more live streams called Living to Tell, so keep an eye out for us, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Thanks for
God
joining
bless
us.
you all. Hoorah.